The idiots have been in charge way too long. And that's why you're here. For the podcast you need. All for liberty all the time. Welcome to Liberty Bites Back. With your host, Brandon Imel.
Many Americans are giving into the COVID-19 for a Great Reset plan set forth by the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum states, there is an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. To improve the state of the World Economic Forum is starting the Great Reset Initiative. The context: the COVID-19 crisis and the political, economical, and social disruptions it has caused is fundamentally changing the traditional context for decision-making. The inconsistencies, inadequacies, and contradictions of multiple systems from health to financial to energy and education are more exposed than ever amidst a global context of concerns for lives, livelihoods, and the planet. Leaders find themselves at historic crossroads, managing short-term pressures against medium and long-term uncertainties. The opportunity. As we enter a unique window of opportunity to shape the recovery, this initiative will offer insights to help inform all those determining the future state of the global relations, the direction of national economies, the priorities of societies, the nature of business models, and the management of global commons. Drawing from the vision and the vast expertise of the leaders engaged across the forum's communities, the Great Reset Initiative has a set of dimensions to build a new social contract that honors the dignity of every human being. And exactly what this is the globalists showing their plans. They want to use COVID-19 to plan the future for every human being, forcing us into an equitable globalist communism. Their plans are global. Their plans are to conquer the United States of America. They want to conquer our free will. They want to subvert the American spirit and destroy individuality. The authoritarians of America have their leader. Their authoritarian, and even admittedly so, Dr. Fauci. He has said over and over again that the issue in America for the global doctor state that they want to establish is because of our independent spirit in the United States. The people of the United States refuse tyranny whenever we can. That is our independent American spirit. But Dr. Fauci has laid out a new plan to attack the American people, to attack our American spirit, to attack our independent spirit, to destroy and demonize our spirit, the spirit of liberty that shines in our hearts. Do what you're told, Dr. Fauci shouts, as we want to keep our individuality, as we want to keep our religious freedom, as we want to keep our constitutional republic. But he's a traitor, he's a turncoat for the liberal establishment, the elite order of indoctrinated Soviet-era-like spies that want to destroy the nation to create the communism that they want. They say it takes a village to raise a kid because they want to indoctrinate all the kids to turn on their parents, to divide and conquer the family unit. Since the 1990s, they have openly spoke of this. Even Hillary Rodham Clinton wrote a book on this. They openly want the nanny state to intervene in all things of our lives. They want to remove parental rights from us all. Parental rights are being subverted, and it's clear from this article from WUSA. Quote, DC Council to make final vote on bill that will allow minors to get vaccines without parental consent. The DC Council is inching closer to approving a bill that would allow children as young as 11 years old to get recommended vaccines without their parental's approval. There would be some requirements, but direction overall would come from the doctor. A final vote from the council is expected Tuesday. When Ward 3 Council member Mary Chubb introduced the Minor Consent for Vaccinations Amendment Act of 2019 in his response to the measles outbreak that spread from coast to coast in the U.S. At the time, many wondered if the district would become the next hotspot as vaccination rates trended downward in the city. Quote, I think it should be worrisome to people when children are not vaccinated for these diseases, end quote, said Che. The bill would give kids as young as 11 years old a green light to get a vaccination without parental consent if a doctor recommends it. The doctor would also determine if the child meets a certain standard of informed consent before administering the vaccine. To prevent the parents from knowing, health providers would be required to bill insurers directly and send vaccination records to the school. The gateway again is the physician who has to make the judgment that is not a person 11, 12, 15, 18 capable of giving informed consent, and is it consistent with the physician's medical judgment, Sheh said. Now, Ashka Pinkley Gillis has a 5-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old son, and she tells WUSA 9 the measure is concerning for her household. She does not believe her teenager is old enough to emotionally ready to make decisions without her help. Quote, I am 100% against that bill, Gillis said. Quote, I think it violates my fundamental right as a parent to manage the upbringing and the health and the welfare of my child. End quote. Quote again, if my child goes and gets a vaccine and has adverse reaction to the vaccine, I wouldn't know what's going on because I never was told my child has been inoculated. End quote, Gillis said. According to the July 6th letter to D.C. school leaders from the Office of the State Superintendent of Education, fewer families have paid visits to doctor's office because of the pandemic. Officials cite a lack of access to care and families avoiding offices overall. Due to fewer visits, the letter said many children in the district are not fully immunized, which could make another infectionist outbreak worse. In the legislation meeting Tuesday, the bill received full support from 12 council members. 1 member was absent, and a final vote is expected Tuesday, November 17th, before heading to Mayor Muriel Brower's office to review. While the intent is good, I think there are several kinks that need to be worked out before this is finalized, Gillis said. Councilmember Sheh said that number of medical experts and organizations, including the Medical Society of D.C. and the district's health department, have reviewed the proposal and fully support it. End quote. So let's go back up to some of these. They said they want to prevent parents from knowing, and I would agree with Gillis here that what if something would happen and then they don't even know what the heck is going on because they don't know that their kid was immunized. Inoculating kids without their parental approval is authoritarianism. This is fascism. This is completely crazy to see and know that it's going to happen in the United States of America. They want to destroy mothers' rights. They want to destroy fathers' rights. And as parents, we will have no rights under this idea of a fully authoritarianism through the government, and everyone should be outraged. This is not a constitutional republic stance. This is a communist and a globalist push for our society to be changed beyond repair. You must speak up. You must speak loud. And we must get to the point of true liberty back in this country. COVID masks were the first step, and now they are subverting and controlling us all through the lies we allow. It's not just a mask. It's a symbol of these idiots, of their control and power over the people. It's not just a lockdown, but it's a symbol of control and power to the idiots, as they will lead to more death than the virus itself. It's not just a tyrannical government taking over, but it's a globalist agenda to destroy our way of life, and we have to stop them.